Hey, welcome back. It's Slick Talk. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all of that. All that in a bag of chips. So I like to get feedback every time I post a video from friends and family because, let's face it, those are the main people watching this right now because it's so new in the game. It's all right. I'm okay with that. We're going to build, right? But one of the most consistent pieces of feedback that I'm getting is I need to tell people who I am. And I was just thinking, I've never actually done that. I just sort of jumped right into the issues, which, if you know me, that's actually exactly who I am. But this is my stab at a video that's not about any issue. It's just about me, about Slick Talk. So a couple years back, I had an idea of becoming a vlogger and just, putting on a camera and talking my trash. And I think it originally came from the fact that I used to be really active on social media, sharing links, had hot takes to everything. And I just got tired of that. I started to feel like I was just, shouting into a void, which you've heard me say that before in another video. But yeah, I really like to feel like the things I put out there could have some kind of impact. I don't know what that impact is going to be. And I just sometimes feel like just posting alone on social media, it didn't do it for me anymore. So I wanted to just, get myself in front of a camera and just talk. And I think that was important because I think there's a lot about politics that people have a lot of misconceptions about. And if I could do anything to clear that up, then I'm achieving part of my goal, right? But it's actually deeper than that. For me, I feel like I come from a community where we sort of get the brunt end of a lot of the economic problems that we have in the nation, environmental problems, any problems, you name it, it's people here are dealing with it. People are struggling. And people don't really have like an appreciation for how much the day-to-day happenings in politics actually makes it down to their real lives. And I think that the way political discourse happens, it's just not approachable or interesting, quite frankly. It's just boring as hell. It's old, it's white, it's, everyone looks and sounds like some kind of news anchor. And if you're not doing that, you're not doing it right. And I think that we need a new approach to political education, but also just to talking about what's happening around us that is able to get more people involved and engaged at least, especially people who would typically tune these things out, right? So with this channel, I'm going to be talking about the same things that you see everyone talking about everywhere on the internet. But the difference is I'm going to try to do it in a way that seems approachable, that seems human, that seems like relatable, because talking about a minimum wage hike and like the sort of political jockeying that's going around, for example, about this person wants to support it and this one doesn't. And that's sort of how we talk about politics. But really what we need to focus on when we're talking about something like a minimum wage is who is affected? Whose life is affected? Do you know anyone that would be helped by increasing their wage from whatever the minimum wage is in their state to $15 an hour? Is that going to impact you in your life? We need to make things more personal. These conversations that have to do with the direction of our society, they need to be understood in personal and broader terms, right? So for all of those reasons, when I get up here and record these videos, I try to do it as if I'm talking to someone in my family, one of my friends, someone who I know, a real person, because I think that just gets lost in the way we have political conversations, especially when we get to politics, especially when we get to national politics, right? And so I think that's a challenge that I set out for myself, and I hope I'm able to do it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to do it because let's face it, it won't go up here if I don't feel like it's right. I also think we're at a critical time, where like we have a lot of online political discussion, a lot more than has ever been at any point in our lives. And I think there is a lot of good information and bad information that's out there. And there's a lot of not really making a clean separation between what is like an opinion and what is factual information, or even just not caring about, getting to the facts and to the truth of things. But it's more about sort of just building your following of people who are like-minded, of people who agree with everything that's going to come out your mouth already. Or in the case of media, our traditional media, our mainstream media, it's whatever is going to prop up one of the two major parties, whatever is, palatable and acceptable to the establishment, to the moneyed interest that they're all sort of working for, right? That's what they're going to give you. And so I figured if everyone's just bastardizing information and just taking it and doing whatever the hell they want with it, let me do that too. But let me try to do it with more truth. And let me try to do it from a place that's like, I'm giving you my authentic self, my authentic thoughts and feelings about these things, and nothing more than that. And hopefully through me starting a conversation with you about X, Y, or Z issue, you then go and do your own research about it and you figure out how you feel about this particular issue. But what I definitely want to do is work against a lot of the sort of conspiratorial thinking that's out there. A lot of people sort of have like misunderstandings about how power works in our society. And because of that, the door is open to fill that blank with whatever you want. And I'm not saying that all conspiracy theories are, fake or wrong. Some probably have some truth to them. But my point is that you don't even need to bother with that, because what's actually happening in our public, in our day-to-day life, in our government is enough to be shocking and jarring enough, okay? The way people are suffering in our society. You don't need to make up any conspiracy about a government that's doing things against your life. You could just look at how millions of people in our society live and are treated and are neglected, right? And that's what I want to bring us back to. Again, this real people, real lives, real impact of what's happening in our political system, the actions of our political leaders. So a lot of what I'm doing, it'll come from that place. But I think most importantly, one of the biggest motivations for doing this is I strongly believe in political education. And I think that most people have everything in their toolkit already walking into any conversation about any political issue to have a real conversation about it and to understand it, right? Because we all know how things make us feel. We all know this, what we see that people are suffering with. We all know or have opinions about things that we think is wrong and right in society. But sometimes it feels like if you don't have the right words, if you don't have all the information about a particular issue, you can't say anything about it because you're not like advanced enough in the political conversation about that. And I just want to shatter that, take that and throw it in the trash, because all that leads to is a lot of people who we need to be listening to not opening their mouth about important issues, right? It leads to politics staying this sort of elite interest, this sort of thing that's not able to be driven by real people and real people's lives and real people's perspectives, but has everything to do with real people's lives and has every impact on their real lives, right? So this is all about political education, but not political education in that I'm an expert and I'm getting on here teaching. It's that hopefully through these conversations, you get inspired to do your own research. You get inspired to get something started in your own community. You get inspired to make your voice heard too. Participate a little bit more too. Maybe you never voted before, and the next time after subscribing to my channel, you might decide that that's something you want to do. Again, voting is not the only way to be politically active, right? But hopefully, if you're a person that thinks like, I don't really give a damn about what's going on in politics, I'm able to help you see how it actually has a lot to do with real people and real people's lives, and also how you're capable of fully making your voice heard. And if people ain't listening to you, sometimes you got to shout in their face about it. So yeah, political education, loving politics, and I just always have something to say, and I'm always fired up about something. So I'm choosing to get on here and say it instead of tweeting and posting about it on social. And also, this is for me too. It's, I get up here and I enjoy just talking about these things. This is what I think about all the time. So letting you all into that too. And hopefully it's a good journey with everyone. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me something that you think I need to cover, or tell me something that you've always been wondering about and you want to hear more about. I will look at that and I'll do my best to try to incorporate it into my next videos. So thank you so much.